My sister wanted to eat Hotpot, so the whole family accompanied her. Over a minor issue, she pointed at the waiter's nose and scolded him. The waiter poured a pot of boiling water onto her face. My sister pulled me in front to shield herself, and I got severely burned all over. Later, they wrote a letter of understanding to the waiter pretending to be good people, then broke both my legs and posted videos of me online every day. The more miserable I was, the more money netizens donated. They tortured me to death. When I opened my eyes again, my younger sister was scolding the waiter. I didn't stop her and quickly went to the restroom. Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel. Subscribe us to read wonderful novels every day. Now the story begins. My biological father poured a pot of scalding oil over me, while my mother and sister chained my limbs with iron shackles to prevent me from moving. Sizzle, sizzle. The smell of burning flesh filled the air. My body instantly turned crimson, with large blisters bubbling up all over. I screamed in agony, begging them through tears to spare me. The younger sister said with a grin, "Sister, just bear with it a little longer. We'll soon make a fortune." Mother sighed softly. Who would have thought they prefer the tragic ones? Your burns aren't tragic enough, and cutting off a tongue isn't either. Good daughter, let's just make another 50 million. Then we'll stop. Hang in there a little longer. I struggled to scream. Oh. My eyes were filled with hatred. These were my family, the ones I held dearest in my heart. Father slapped me hard across the face. I gave you your life. It's just some boiling oil. It's not like I'm taking your life. What the hell are you screaming for? I glared at him fiercely, wishing I could get up and kill them all. You bitch. How dare you glare at your father? I'll beat you to death, my dad said, picking up a nearby stick and swinging it at me. The freshly formed blisters instantly burst, splattering blood everywhere. The pain was so intense I could barely breathe. But my sister sneered. Sis, how could you glare at Dad? He gave you life. Can't you just be obedient? I stared at them fiercely, then was beaten to death by my own father. Perhaps death is better. It's a form of release after all. If I could send them to hell, I'd be willing to sacrifice everything. When I opened my eyes again, my younger sister was yelling at a waiter. Looking at the bowing waiter, I smiled. This time, it's their turn to go to hell. My sister Jolie looked at him with disdain. Are you blind? Can't you see the soup has boiled dry? Getting paid to do nothing. Do you believe I can have your boss fire you? Jolie is always like this, never backing down when she's right and never willing to take a loss. The waiter whispered an explanation. I'm sorry, we're too busy right now. I'll go to the kitchen to get the broth immediately. Jolie snorted coldly. With your attitude, you'll only ever be fit to be a waiter. Couldn't even study properly before, and now you can't even be a decent waiter. Her face was full of contempt, as if she were looking at a piece of trash. The waiter glanced at Jolie and turned to leave. Jolie lost her temper, slamming the table and demanding the waiter call their manager over. I knew that what would arrive next wasn't the manager, but a pot of scalding hot water. In my past life, Jolie yanked me in front of her as a shield, resulting in burns covering 65% of my body. My entire face was completely disfigured. While I was fighting for my life in the hospital, my so-called family publicly wrote a letter of forgiveness, garnering endless sympathy. They became major internet celebrities. I looked up toward the kitchen and saw the waiter slowly approaching. I smiled at my sister and picked up my phone. I'm going to the restroom. Jolie pursed her lips, covering her nose with a look of disgust, as if she were a fairy who never had to use the bathroom. I turned on the voice recorder on my phone and quickly headed to the restroom. Just as I reached the bathroom door, I heard Jolie's scream. How tragic. It was much louder than my screams in my past life. I didn't turn around immediately and calmly entered the bathroom. Emma, come back quickly, was my mom's shout. Come back what? I still need to use the bathroom. Help, help. Murder, Jolie screamed at the top of her lungs. The world outside was in chaos as I splashed cold water on my face. No rush. Take it slow. Every suffering I endured in my past life, I'll return it to them one by one. I raised my head to look in the mirror. The woman reflected was beautiful, her lips slightly upturned, but her eyes were filled with nothing but venom. By the time I came out, Jolie was howling like a banshee. Mom was sitting on top of that waiter pounding away, and the manager kept apologizing to Dad. In their past life, they weren't this agitated. At least the waitstaff didn't get beaten. They just kept shouting for the hot pot restaurant to compensate them. Seeing me approach, Jolie picked up the hot pot basin and flung it toward me. She screamed, "Emma, why did you leave? Why am I the only one who got scalded? I won't accept this." I quickly dodged to the side. "Who are you? Where did this ugly freak come from? Daring to hurt people randomly. You must be sick. I'm calling the mental hospital to take you away right now." Finally, I can call her an ugly monster too. Before, she would always hit me while cursing. I had long guessed she wouldn't take it lying down, so I dodged smoothly. But the person behind me wasn't so lucky. The scalding hot pot broth splashed all over an elderly woman. "Oh, it hurts. Help." She fainted as soon as she finished speaking. Two middle-aged women following her shouted loudly, "Mom." One then tended to the elderly person on the ground while the other went to call her family. Moments later, four strong men appeared before Jolie. Jolie stumbled backward in fear. Her parents immediately stepped in front of her, glaring at me with hostility. Jolie shouted resentfully, "Emma, why did you dodge? I was aiming for you. It's all your fault. If you hadn't moved, would she have gotten hurt?" She turned to the four burly men and said, "Make her pay. She's pretty. She could fetch a high price." Jolie, I'm not at all surprised she would say such things. That's just the kind of person she is. I replied calmly. I don't know this woman who's beyond recognition. I suggest you call the police immediately. By the way, there are surveillance cameras here, and many people are recording. It's crystal clear who did the splashing. Jolie can't weasel her way out of this. Dad snorted coldly, while Mom tearfully pleaded, "Emma, Jolie is already so pitiful. Won't you help her just this once?" What a load of crap. I smiled broadly. No way. She brought this on herself with her own malicious intentions. Serves her right. Just as I finished speaking, the ambulance arrived outside. They rushed to the hospital in a panic. But I didn't go with them. Even when my parents pointed at my nose and cursed, I still didn't go. My mind was filled with images of them tying me up, beating and scolding me, and then live streaming their pitiful act while I was drugged into a deep sleep. They exposed all my burns to the online audience, received donations from kind-hearted people, and even created many groups where they posted my miserable condition daily. Those who couldn't bear to see it kept transferring money to them. People like them should never be approached without proper protection. I asked everyone who recorded videos one by one, requesting them to forward one to me, mainly Jolie's spectacular moment of splashing someone. This time, I want to see how they pretend to be pitiful. I bought 3 surveillance cameras and installed them in hidden spots around the house. Then, I packed my bags and returned to school. With half a year left until graduation, my parents were aware of the internship I had lined up, but I decided to give it up, taking advantage of the relatively safer and lower-cost environment at school. I'm determined to better equip myself. I bought a bunch of protective gear online and also signed up for one-on-one taekwondo and sanda classes at the school club. Just after finishing my run, my mom called, "Emma, your sister is at the People's Hospital. Come over quickly to help take care of her." She commanded me with an air of unquestionable authority. I looked up at the sky, my face completely indifferent. I couldn't help but think of my past life, when I was alone in the hospital, while they were busy demanding compensation, unwilling to even hire a caregiver. When it comes to Jolie, everyone must revolve around her. Seeing that I didn't respond, Mom shouted angrily, "Emma, are you even human? Get here by taxi right now." I chuckled softly. Have you forgotten how she picked up the hot pot and poured it on me? I'm no saint. How could I possibly take care of someone who wanted my life? Jolie, she deserves it. Mom was furious. I heard the sound of a cup shattering. Emma, you're the older sister. Can't you be more generous? Jolie didn't do it on purpose. She was just in a bad mood. This is the sentence I've heard countless times since childhood. I replied indifferently. We're all experiencing being human for the first time. Why should I give in to her? You're her biological mother. That's your responsibility. You take care of it. On the other end of the phone, Mom was breathing heavily, seemingly shocked that her obedient daughter would say such things. After a moment, she said quietly, "Emma, your father is still at the police station. Could you help me get some toiletries?" "No, I was terrified by Jolie today and don't want to see you right now." With that, I hung up the phone. They are utterly unworthy of being parents. In my eyes, they have zero credibility. Seeing them makes me want to kill them with my own hands. 2 weeks later, I overheard on the surveillance that they wanted to marry me off to a fool, using the 500,000 betrothal gift to clean up Jolie's mess. I wanted to just run away, but I couldn't accept that. A plan flashed through my mind. The next day, my advisor found me at the Taekwondo club. Your parents are at the school gate. They look very anxious, as if they have something urgent to tell you. Your phone was off, so go see them right away. I didn't expect them to come so quickly. I nodded obediently. After seeing the advisor off, I finished my Taekwondo class before leisurely heading out. Those two are really bad people, so I carry pepper spray and a stun baton in my pocket just in case. At the school gate, my parents' faces were full of anger. They had been waiting for over an hour and were already very impatient. As soon as they saw me come out, their faces immediately forced awkward smiles. Standing behind the gate, I looked at them coldly. Mom said softly, "Emma, we're here to take you home." LOL. Since when did I have a home? I shook my head. I'm about to graduate and am working on my thesis. I need to go to the library to research a lot of materials, so I really don't have time to go back. Dad glared at me fiercely and raised his hand as if to hit me. Emma, do you believe I'll beat you to death? I do believe it. Wasn't I beaten to death by him in my past life? There's nothing someone like him wouldn't do. Mom held him back. Emma, I know you're still blaming Jolie. You're both my daughters, and it pains me to see either of you hurt. Jolie was severely burned and disfigured. Just forgive her. How could I possibly forgive them? I won't forgive any of them, I said coldly. She didn't pour it on me, so there's nothing to forgive or not forgive. She's just a stranger. What happens to her is none of my concern. My parents outside the school gate immediately turned pale. Dad raised his hand again, and this time Mom didn't stop him. I quickly dodged back. Now that I'm over 18, you don't have to support me anymore. When you're old, I'll provide the most basic support. As for Jolie, I have no responsibility or obligation toward her. Dad was furious. He swiped his ID card to enter the school gate and rushed toward me quickly. Mom shouted from behind, Emma, don't provoke your dad. He has high blood pressure. High blood pressure. Humph. If I could provoke him to death, I'd wake up laughing from the dream. For the past 2 weeks, I've been running over 20 laps around the track every single day. Today, I'll run him to death. After running for a few minutes, Dad shouted loudly from behind, Hey, student ahead. She's a thief. Stop her for me. This guy, still so shameless. I shouted back, I'm Emma from the Business Administration Department, a senior. The person behind is a human trafficker. Everyone please call the police for me. 2 classmates nearby recognized me. She's Emma. Everyone hurry and help catch the human trafficker. In an instant, the alumni, brimming with a sense of justice, immediately stopped the man. My father's eyes were red with anger. I'm her father, her biological father. The surrounding classmates weren't having it, and they spoke up one after another. Since when does a real father call his own daughter a thief? He must be lying. That man has a fierce look in his eyes, clearly no good. Oh my God. He actually has a fruit knife in his pocket. Everyone be careful. Who would have thought he carries a fruit knife with him all the time? Probably to use against me. How ruthless. Am I really his biological daughter? I can't believe there's a father like this. Dad glared at me fiercely. She's my daughter, and I'm taking her home today no matter what. I couldn't be bothered with him and turned to the schoolmate beside him. Classmate, could you check if he's carrying any other dangerous items? This is a school, and I'm concerned for your safety. The classmates were incredibly efficient, finding a handkerchief and a bottle of clear liquid in no time. Dad struggled fiercely, his face filled with anger. This is a crime. I'll sue you. And I'll sue your school too, to get all of you expelled. He was threatening everyone present. I snorted coldly. This is a school. You're carrying dangerous items, which makes you a threat. We're doing society a favor. At this moment, a particularly curious classmate picked up the handkerchief and sniffed it. It didn't take long before he felt dizzy and then collapsed straight to the ground. If it weren't for the classmates nearby catching him in time, he would have surely fallen flat on his back. Seeing the classmate faint, my dad panicked. He took advantage of everyone's surprise to break free from those holding him back. I quickly shouted, Classmates, He's about to run. Grab him. The man, who had only run a few steps, was caught again. This time, he was pinned down firmly. I was just about to pull him out of the school when my mom arrived. She glared at me fiercely. Emma, are you even human? He's your father, and you're treating him like this. She turned to the classmates restraining my dad and shouted angrily. Let go of my husband right now, or you'll regret it. I'm warning you. We're not young anymore and can't handle your rough treatment. I have to say, my mom's words really intimidated the classmates. In today's society, nothing is more feared than being extorted by the elderly. No matter how much money you have at home, it's never enough to cover what they might demand. I said coldly, they're the bad ones here. We're just standing up for what's right. With so many witnesses, do you really think their words can overturn the truth? If anything really happens to them, I'll take responsibility. The sense of justice among college students flared up again, and a few female students even dragged my mom into it. My parents started cursing even more harshly, but the classmates began reasoning with them, even bringing up Marxism-Leninism and Mao Zedong thought. My parents fell silent, only occasionally glaring at me. Outside the school gate, 2 police officers approached. Dad panicked and gave me a meaningful look. I laughed. They brought drugged fruit and knives, and still expect me to speak nicely. He's dreaming. I briefly explained the situation, and the officer gave my parents a cold glance. They denied it, with my mother crying out in protest. Officer, she's our daughter. How could we possibly harm her? My father, his face filled with anger, said, this is our family matter. None of you have any right to interfere. Choking back tears, I pleaded, Uncle Officer, they want to sell me to Myanmar. I'm so scared. I don't think they're my real parents. Can you help me find out? My parents froze for a moment, a flicker of panic flashing in their eyes. There really is a problem. No wonder they're being so heartless to me. My mother pointed at my nose and scolded, Emma, do you have any conscience? We've raised you for over 20 years, and this is how you treat us. An ungrateful wretch like you will surely go to hell. Did they have a conscience by beating me to death? They're the ones who deserve to go to hell, no matter how they argued. After producing the fruit knife and knockout drugs, we all went to the police station together. My parents still tried to make excuses, but unfortunately, a group of college students testified against them. They were all taken into a small dark room and interrogated separately. The impact of this incident was very negative, with many students gathering to watch, and countless videos were posted online. The police station must handle it seriously. Wiping my tears, I slowly analyzed the reasons why they might not be my biological parents. And finally, I even brought out Jolie's video of pouring Hotpot. At that time, the 3 of them were cursing harshly, showing no trace of familial affection, although a paternity test could easily prove it. I'm more interested in knowing the process. More than 2 hours later, my dad was directly taken into custody. Regarding today's incident, he took all the blame upon himself. As for my origins, they seemed to have already agreed on a story. That I was found in a garbage dump. That's it. I don't believe it for a second. Just stepped out of the police station when my mother, no, my adoptive mother now, Anna, pulled me aside. With an ingratiating smile, she pleaded, Emma, please write a letter of forgiveness for me, won't you? I let out a soft chuckle. I don't have a mother. I'm just an orphan. After how you've treated me all these years, how dare you ask for a letter of forgiveness? Since childhood, they made me yield to my sister. I did all the household chores, wore her hand-me-downs, and lived like a dog. I started working part-time in high school, and most of the money I earned was taken by them. It wasn't until college, when I secretly took on a few more tutoring jobs, that I managed to save a little. Anna paused for a moment, then forced an awkward smile. Emma, it was snowing that night. If we hadn't picked you up, you probably wouldn't have survived. We've raised you for decades, if not for our credit, at least for our hard work. Just write a letter of forgiveness. No way. I'd rather die than write that letter of forgiveness for him. Seeing that I remained silent, Anna fell to her knees with a thud. I quickly dodged. Having died once before, I was afraid she'd shorten my lifespan. Anna said through tears, the Chin family is demanding we compensate them $500,000. Jolie also needs $1 million for plastic surgery. Your dad is the family's breadwinner. We can't do without him. Plastic surgery. Dream on. In my past life, they never once mentioned the word plastic surgery. I said coldly, sell the house then. It's not like we can't afford the loss. Anna vigorously shook her head. No, that's our lifeline. We'd rather die than sell it. So, selling me is acceptable then. How hypocritical. I looked at her with a half smile. Then let Jolie become a big influencer. She's so pitiful. Surely someone would be willing to donate money. Anna brightened up and asked eagerly, how can one become a big influencer? I laughed. This time, I want to see whether they choose their daughter or the money. I said with a smile. Post the burns on her body online. The more gruesome, the better. If you want it to go viral faster, write a letter of forgiveness for that waiter. Anna lowered her head in thought, and I turned to leave. From what I know of them, Jolie will definitely become an internet sensation. These are all things they did in their past lives, and now it's finally Jolie's turn to enjoy. I had just returned to school when Anna called. Emma, why did you run off so fast? You're sharp. Come back and help us out. Just listen to her shameless words. If I were dragged back, would there be any good outcome? I calmly replied, no, no, no. Jolie is very smart. She knows what to do. By the way, since we're not related by blood, don't contact me unless necessary in the future. Hearing my words, the person on the other end flew into a rage again. Anna pointed at my nose and cursed for half an hour, saying every nasty thing imaginable. I listened obediently, occasionally uttering exclamations of surprise, sorrow, and sadness. Seeing that she had finished most of her rant, I calmly said, I was originally planning to write a letter of forgiveness for Wu Jianjun, but after listening to you scold me for so long, I've realized something. You people don't deserve my forgiveness at all. Anna fell silent for a moment, then let out a startled scream. Emma, I was wrong. I was blinded by stupidity just now. How about I slap myself twice? Please, can you forgive me? I heard two loud slaps from the other end, though I couldn't tell if they were real or fake. Anna choked back tears. Emma, you're so kind-hearted. You'll definitely forgive us. Right. Come back. And let's become big influencers together. The moment they cut out my tongue in my past life, I stopped wanting to be a good person. I've had enough of being their punching bag. No thanks. Why don't you let Jolie be the big influencer? Didn't she get disfigured? The more tragic, the more viral. Accidentally hit a nerve with Anna again, as she roared in anger. Emma, you bitch. I hope you die a horrible death. After hanging up the phone, I turned on the surveillance. Anna sat sulking on the sofa, muttering viciously, tomorrow I'll go to the school again, lure her home, and then disfigure her face, make her an internet sensation. Jolie wore a hat and mask, revealing only a pair of cold, sinister eyes. Why does she get to go to school properly? How can she live better than me? She must suffer more than I do. Mom, I can't accept this. I want to kill her. Anna held her in her arms, gently patting her back. Jolie, don't worry. As long as we make her suffer a bit, she'll earn money for your plastic surgery and buy you a big mansion. Jolie said coldly. I don't want to hear her voice. Lure her back tomorrow. And let's start by cutting out her tongue. So, in my past life, this was the reason they cut out my tongue. I already knew they were bad, but a cold sweat still broke out on my back. I wanted to take the surveillance footage to the police, but at most, it would only result in a warning for them. Today Buck was detained mainly because of the date rape drug, and they need to trace its source. As for the rest, since no significant harm was done, the police can't do much about it. I checked all my bank cards, and the total came to $5,526. After careful consideration, I've decided to make a run for it. If I had the money, I would have bolted the moment I was reborn. Sigh. It all comes down to being broke. Both Taekwondo and Sanda were offered at a friend's discount by alumni. Otherwise I couldn't even afford the registration fees. I went to explain today's situation to my academic advisor and shared a bit about my family circumstances. The counselor sighed. Don't worry. This is the school. They won't get away with bullying my student. In my past life, when my face was disfigured, the counselor brought classmates to visit me. She encouraged me to step out of the shadows, but I never even made it past the door. With reddened eyes, I said, Teacher Lee, I don't want to keep fighting with them. After all, They raised me for over 20 years. No matter what. I'm the younger one. I can't win this. Outsiders would surely say they've had it hard and tell me to be more forgiving. After all, it doesn't hurt to stand and talk. As long as they pretend to be pitiful, everyone will sympathize with the weak. I saw through all this in my past life. The counselor told me to leave with peace of mind, as she would handle the school matters. She gave me a big hug, and I packed my bags and left overnight, to find a place that provides food and accommodation as quickly as possible. I went straight to the factory to work as a screw assembler. Honestly, it doesn't feel bad. At least no one is calling me an ungrateful wretch to my face. My mom went to the school several times looking for me, but each time she came back empty-handed. She even confronted the counselor, demanding to know where I was with a sense of righteous indignation. The teacher didn't say anything and directly called the police. Some people are impossible to reason with. You say one thing, and they can go on for half an hour without repeating themselves. When the police called me, I cried and said, they wanted to sell me. Was I supposed to just wait for them to do it? I don't like them. I even hate them. Yes, they raised me, but I never said I wouldn't take care of them when they're old. I'm already over 18, and I have the right to choose my own life. Anna was cursing at me nearby, and even the police couldn't stop her. The corners of my mouth lifted in a cold smile. See, with parents like these, what's the point of going back? I'm not a masochist. I'm a living, breathing person. After hanging up, I went out to celebrate with a Hotpot meal. A week later, I came across Jolie's pitiful act in an online video. In the end, they still chose money. In the video, Jolie revealed most of her burn scars, which looked extremely horrifying. She cried, like a rain-soaked pear blossom, slowly recounting the incident, and even asked everyone whether they should write a letter of forgiveness for the waiter. While sympathizing with Jolie, netizens also criticized the waiter. The video went viral overnight, gaining over 200,000 followers. Not bad. Not bad. I couldn't help but give her a like. You must stand higher so the fall will hurt more. The next day, Jolie live-streamed writing a letter of understanding while crying, and even shared her Alipay account, hoping netizens would donate. Anna whispered softly about how tough it was, casually mentioning how Buck went to find me but ended up being sent to the police station. Of course, she didn't mention the knockout drugs or the fruit knife, only saying she wanted me to go back and accompany Jolie, but was misunderstood and sent to the station. Every sentence is dripping with sarcasm aimed at me. Netizens are being led by her, and now I've become another victim of online bullying. Well done. Really. I originally wanted to let them enjoy their happiness a bit longer, but now there's no need. 2 days later, I heard they gave the letter of understanding to the waiter, and the donations had already exceeded 2 million, enough to give them a hard time. I immediately posted Jolie's video scolding the waiter, along with the footage of her later throwing a pot of hot soup at someone. Caption: the miserable are prone to hatred. I spent $1,000 on traffic and even went to Jolie's video to comment and drive traffic. Soon, the video I posted also went viral. Jolie's video was flooded with harsh comments. Netizens detest scammers who treat them like fools. Jolie cried, saying it wasn't her and that the video must have been AI synthesized by someone. She was innocent. She even suspected it was the waiter's doing, especially since the video surfaced right after she sent out the letter of forgiveness. Who else could it be? Anna wiped her tears and asked everyone, "We don't want to be good people anymore. Can we take back the letter of forgiveness?" The netizens' attitude towards this video has shifted again. Surprisingly, half of them still support the girls. A small portion remains skeptical, and the rest are accusing them of pretending to be innocent white lotuses. I don't understand what they're struggling with. It wasn't just 1 or 2 people who filmed the video. I have footage from 5 or 6 different angles myself. Perhaps they think netizens are foolish enough to believe whoever appears more pitiable is in the right, since people naturally sympathize with the underdog. I've uploaded 2 more videos from different angles. Caption: is AI this smart now? It can even change angles. Before I could post a few more essays, the waiter appeared, directly presenting the Hotpot restaurant's surveillance footage. She also shared several chat records, all of which were Jolie's threats to her. Finally, there were a few 60-second voice messages, all of Jolie's personal attacks against the waiter. Caption: I'd rather go to jail than endure her insults. I have a short temper, but I only direct it at those who deserve it. At this point, Jolie couldn't explain herself even with 10 mouths. I messaged the counselor. Buck, the video of causing trouble at school can be posted online now. She's been wanting to post it for a while, but I told her to hold off. It didn't take long before videos of Buck and Anna causing a scene at school began sprouting up online like mushrooms after rain. Many students recorded videos at the time, capturing various angles, with some even sharing their personal opinions at the end. The knockout drugs and fruit knife were the focal points, appearing in every video. The student who was drugged also shared their first-hand experience, ultimately warning netizens to always be cautious when going out, and to stay vigilant even around family members. The counselor also posted a video, saying, "Emma is an outstanding student at our school, and we will do our best to ensure her safety." According to information from the police station, Emma is not their biological child. They picked her up from a garbage dump. This time, they came to the school intending to drug her and sell her for $500,000 to a mentally disabled person. Jolie panicked. She stood on the rooftop and started a live stream. Anna had cried until her eyes were swollen and kept trying to console Jolie beside her. "Oh, so this is about proving innocence through death. I don't believe it. She just wants everyone to compromise. Even if she's wrong, you have to forgive her. Otherwise you're the ones driving her to death," Jolie said during the live stream. "Can't you just believe me? Do I have to die for you to believe me?" Half of the bullet comments were cursing her, with many urging her to jump quickly. Netizens no longer believe her now. Jolie cried bitterly. "If my death could make you happy, then should I just die?" Anna would never let her die. Wiping her tears, she sobbed and said, "If someone has to die, let it be me. I'm 48 years old. I've lived long enough. You're only 18 years old. Haven't been in love yet. Haven't been a mother. Your life has just begun." Jolie shook her head, her face covered in tears, the disfigured visage appearing exceptionally terrifying. It must be said, she played the part quite convincingly, at least gaining sympathy from some netizens again. They even found many excuses for her, such as her straightforward personality meaning no harm, that customers are like gods. So what if she scolded the waiter, or that she's still young, and the disfigurement is punishment enough? We should give her a chance to reform. Jolie read the comments and cried even harder. She said pitifully, "Yes, I scolded the waitress, but she didn't refill the soup for a whole half hour. Can't I say a few words? Should we consumers just let waitresses pour boiling water on us? What did I do wrong? Was it wrong to go boil water in the kitchen myself?" Upon hearing this, netizens thought Jolie made a fair point. She was just a bit hot-tempered. No big deal. Instantly, the majority of the comment section became filled with netizens supporting her. Jolie's performance was truly a success. Before long, the police arrived, bringing Buck along with them. After not seeing him for a few days, the man had lost a noticeable amount of weight. Apparently, life in the detention center wasn't easy. Buck almost burst into tears, his voice trembling. "Jolie, come down quickly. Daddy can't lose you." Netizens are just fence-sitters. They don't understand anything, spouting nonsense with their mouths open. The implicated netizens didn't dare to speak up. They truly were fence-sitters. Jolie looked at the comments, her courage growing stronger as she cried and vented her grievances. Her tears were nearly exhausted. She wiped her eyes with her hand, only to burst into tears again in an instant. "From what I know about her, she must be hiding something in her hand. No wonder her acting was so convincing," the police officer explained beside them. "Buck was detained to help us catch the culprits. Now that we've shut down the factory producing the date rape drugs, his contributions offset his offenses, so he can go home." Here's a reminder to all netizens. If you knowingly purchase illegal items, it constitutes the crime of handling stolen goods. According to Article 312 of the Criminal Law, those who knowingly conceal, transfer, purchase, sell on behalf of others, or otherwise disguise or hide criminal proceeds or their gains shall be sentenced to up to 3 years in prison, criminal detention, or control, and may also face fines. In severe cases, the sentence ranges from 3 to 7 years in prison, along with fines. "I found out about this yesterday. The police informed me. Count him Buck lucky. It's just as well he came out. Staying in prison for a while wouldn't have been very meaningful and wouldn't have caused him much harm. Buck looked ashamed and bowed to the netizens. I don't deserve to be Jolie's father. I failed to educate her properly. If anyone should die, it should be me. But I just hope everyone can be a little more forgiving toward her. She's only 18. Still a child. Anna was also crying beside him, saying she wanted to die. These three were putting on quite a show. All talk but their actions spoke volumes. But netizens didn't get it, making excuses for their past behavior and even showering them with gifts to comfort them. Their performance was a great success. Jolie surpassed 10 million followers, and her profile now included an additional PayPal account. After they ended the live stream, I turned on the surveillance footage. Sure enough, they returned shortly after. Anna wore a smug expression. Not a bad idea. Right, it was mine. The live stream just earned nearly $1 million in gifts, and some idiots keep transferring money to the Alipay account. Jolie hurried to wash her hands, forcing a terrifying smile. Thank goodness for the onions, or I really couldn't have cried. If it weren't for my acting skills, would they have taken our side? Buck burst into laughter. Good, good. My daughter is clever. But, Emma, I want her dead. How dare that bitch treat me like this? If it weren't for the fortune teller saying a foster child would bring offspring, why would I have raised her? I've fed her for over 20 years. What's wrong with marrying her off to a fool? Anna nodded repeatedly. Good, good, good. We'll earn a few more million. Then sell Emma to Myanmar, and we can go abroad to live it up. Right, right, right. Netizens are so easy to fool. I just pretend to be pitiful, and millions come rolling in. Hee hee. Feels like scamming billions wouldn't be a problem. I posted their voice recordings online but didn't include the video. They still have portrait rights, and the content would get taken down if they filed a complaint. A full 3-minute voice message, with the majority of it being insults directed at netizens. Who knows if these fence-sitting netizens will get angry. I posted a comment with a screenshot of a $1,000 transfer record. The caption read, "So this is the kind of people you are. This is illegal fundraising, and the police have been notified." Before long, the video went viral. Donors flooded the comments section with screenshots, all threatening to sue them. Jolie's video was flooded with criticism. After all, no one wants to be played for a fool. The three panicked and quickly released a video claiming the audio was synthesized, portraying themselves as pitiable victims of misunderstanding. However, this time no one believed them. People compared the audio from the Hotpot restaurant and confirmed it was indeed their family. Jolie went berserk at home. Anna called the police, claiming someone had broken into their house. Otherwise, how could the audio exist? Soon, the police arrested them, not for filing a false report, but because countless netizens accused them of fundraising fraud. This time, Anna and Jolie were locked up. Buck was released for not being involved. When Buck was smashing things at home, someone entered the house. Before he could react, someone covered his mouth and dragged him into the bathroom. The man said with a sinister tone, "Damn it. Because of you, my boss ended up in prison, and all our money was taken away. Now I can't even support my wife and kids. I'm gonna kill you." Buck is dead, chopped into pieces and thrown into the sewer. If the pipes downstairs hadn't clogged, it might never have been discovered. That waiter went to work at a mental hospital. I went to see her once. She was truly insane. A 200-pound giant. Her entire face horrifically distorted, enough to scare even a ghost. Moreover, she bore many old and new scars all over her body. At the sight of people, she would shrink into a corner, murmuring incessantly, "I was wrong. I was really wrong. I won't dare to do it again." Seeing her like this, I feel relieved. Anna was sentenced to 15 years in prison, and all their money was frozen, leaving not a single penny. I can finally work in peace and return home safely. The police contacted me, saying they found my biological parents. But I feel fine being alone and don't want too much involvement. I think it would be very difficult for me to trust someone again.